Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I'm Dr. Gail, and this is Val of Val's Dragonfly Crystals. I'm here in the background. Do you have something else going, Val? I'm hearing something. Echoing.
No, I don't have anything else on.
Okay, I don't hear it now. I was hearing it. I was hearing myself echo. I didn't even hear myself twice. So, but anyway, thanks everybody for joining us today. And today we're going to be talking about different types of readings. Some of us get really confused on what we're supposed to sign up for, what kind of reading, what we're supposed to do. And we have a lot of new people, and it doesn't really matter if they're new or not because it has confused me even to this day on what kind of reading I want. So we're going to go into the different types of readings and see maybe what you're looking for. And Val, what is going on with you? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so, I've been in metaphysics for 40 plus years. It's been a long time doing things, doing readings and doing channeling, and things have expanded to Akashic record readings and intuitive readings and also mediumship. There are all kinds of readings that you can get, but um, what I offer is like in an intuitive
So it's
reading with tarot, for instance, you could actually ask, what's going on with me, on my journey, blah, 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 blah. You can ask around all of that information.
okay. So I'm going to just be the devil's advocate and pretend like I don't know anything. So what is intuitive? What do you mean? Why would I sign up for an intuitive reading?
So my particular thing is intuitive reading with tarot, but really the tarot is just
And again,
you're using it as a tool to really connect deeper into that person's energy. So what you're doing is you're using your intuition, your psychic
okay, I've got one
skill.
more question before you go there. What is tarot?
So tarot is just one of those tools. Those cards, for instance,
Do you have cards?
pendulum cards, whatever your tool is, that is a vehicle as you're connecting to spirit, your guides, the guides that are coming through from your client. That information is all brought to you and also channeled through the cards. So you're getting it through the cards, but you're also intuiting hits and information that come to you as claircognizance, just pure knowing, or clairaudience.
I'm just laughing because I'm going to go, well, what is the clear cognizance? I'm going to look at the depth. Can you share?
So everyone has a spiritual. Everyone comes in with all the gifts. So claircognizance is a clear knowing, where you don't know, you're just an average person going along, but you just know you can't park next to that person at the store because you know they'll open up the door and hit your door. You just know it. Or you just know that this person is they're a little snippy and you don't really want to be great friends with them. Who knows? Whatever that may be. You might find someone is a super open-hearted person. You just know it by the look on their face. That's using your intuition and your claircognizance. You might see somebody in a parking lot and feel this instant knowing that you've known them. And you might instantly have a download of something, like you feel like you've been somewhere before. All those things are part of claircognizance, which is like the biggest wheelhouse of all the clairs you could have. You're going to have an instant drop down of information. You don't know how you don't know where it came from, but you just know it.
Okay.
And you might even have this place where there's a span of time where you question that and you question what you know. It's a normal thing when you're first starting out to acknowledge your claircognizance. Oh gosh, I not sure. Was that really me? Do I really know that? Or did I just make that up? Well, that's normal. Trust what you're getting. Trust your intuition. Trust your claircognizance. Clear knowing. Just knowing something.
Okay,
Um,
I'm going to give you the definition to help you out here on my phone. It
okay.
says the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning.
You don't reason, you just know it. It's just a knowing. It just downloads into you, boom, you know it. You feel it, you know it. So then there's clairaudience, and people think you have to hear voices.
Yeah, look
No,
at Leah.
clairaudience is a whole gamut. Clairaudience is hearing a thought voice in your head. It's going to sound like your voice, but it's not going to be something you would say. But you're going to go, did I just make that up? Or you're going to ignore it because you think it's just your mind chatter. But it's actually information coming in to tell you, to share with you. So this is a very, very subtle in the beginning. And you're going to sometimes go, oh, I just made that up. No, don't. This is that belief span where you have to go through the short window of believing what you're getting. Believing what you're getting is half the battle. Believe it, because as that channel builds it like a muscle, you're going to really get bigger information and more powerful information. So clairaudience is also the voice outside where you can hear somebody call your name or you get information whispered in your ear. There aren't a certain portion of the population that actually has that, and they might even have the clair audience that you hear in your mind as well. Most people do both. Like everyone's probably been woken up in the morning and they hear their name called. It's probably a relative or a guide, but you've heard voices once in a while throughout your entire time. You've probably heard your name called. It's pretty common actually, but so you have both, but you might be weaker in one than the other because you don't practice it enough. Okay, now what is clairaudience in the dictionary?
Oh, I didn't look it up. Do you want
Oh,
that?
that's all right. That is what it is, though. It is that. It is that actual
I was
hearing.
stepping on the intuitive.
Believe what you're getting, everyone. This is the hurdle. Don't discount yourself. This is that hurdle to actually understanding you're getting it. Believe it. Believe what you're getting.
I think that one might be strong this moment, and this one's strong.
Yes. Well, once you start, and claircognizance is like the window into all of them. But once you really start using one gift, the rest open up. And depending on what you're doing with a client, one will all of a sudden be at the forefront. You might see images you might have the clairvoyance where your third eye is opened up to seeing movies, flashes of pictures. All these things are going to open up to you, but you're not going to use you might use a portion of your claircognizance and you just know what those mean, for instance, or, it'll just come to you in all the different clairs. One interacts with the other. And all of a sudden, after a certain period of time, all your clairs are actually working, and they work in sync. And then sometimes one comes into play with the other, and sometimes you'll just have like for me, I have Akashic Record Masters who tell me if somebody asks a question that I don't have to go into the records for, and they're asking, I just have them channel the answer to me, because the records are just facts. But the Akashic Record Masters are like my friends who've been with me from the beginning, and they will give their learned experience to whatever that person's question is. Plus, they'll check with their guides and angels. So there's a whole bunch of things going on.
How did yours start? Mine started with smell. All my life, before I even knew that I was a medium or anything, I could smell when people are around. My father, when he passed, he smelled like hush puppies and barbecue.
Yes.
My mother smelled like watermelon and grapes. My uncle smelled like cigarettes. So I knew when they were around just by their smells.
Yes, and
concert.
that's a big one. Like if your grandfather passed over and he used cigars a lot, you'll go into a room and smell cigar smoke, and that's him visiting. It's that kind of thing. So that's a big one too. A lot of people have that from time to time. The cologne that your mom used to wear, or fragrances also that aren't necessarily tied to people, but rather places and things and ideas and images from another time in your life or other lifetimes can also occur, where you are meant to trigger something within you and remember by those fragrances and that connection. And there is also clairsentience, where you feel what the other person is feeling. You're sensitive to the energies, and you know when you walk into a room if everybody's happy, or if some argument has happened, or you walk into somebody's house and you know the energy of that house. You feel it. That's clairsentience, and I don't know anyone who doesn't have clairsentience.
Right.
You just feel it. You feel it in the energy. You feel the energy. You feel the thing. You have empathy. All those things are like clairsentience. And let's see, what else is there? Clairaudience, clairvoyance. Yes, clairvoyance. People think clairvoyance is like you're seeing the future, but clairvoyance is when you're using your third eye. You don't even know you are. It's not like you're going, oh, I'm using my third eye. No, you don't even focus on that. I go to my crown, just above my crown chakra, to connect to everything. That is your connection, your gateway to everything. And what I say is, when you're doing what clair were we on? I just forgot. I lost track of what I was saying.
You're doing visual.
A bit. Oh, clairvoyance. So you're going to see images. You might see symbols. You might see a movie. You might see colors. Like in meditation, you might close your eyes and you'll see purples or blues or reds, or and sometimes these things aren't bright like in sunlight, like it's real, and sometimes they are. Sometimes you'll be taken out of your consciousness up to a conference room with your guides, but you're in your body still. It's just your consciousness. You haven't done astral travel, for instance. It's just you in your consciousness in this temple with all your guides, and you're sitting down having a group discussion. These things can happen. Sometimes they're really bright, and sometimes when your guides come, it's kind of dim. You just feel their energy and they're there. All these different things are valid and true and can happen at any time, or they can be as bright as you watching a Technicolor movie.
Look at what Sue Toffee's asking. Well, what about people who can taste words and names? That's
taste word. Yes. Something about the taste. Yeah, I don't know what that would be called, but I'm going to tell you right now, every single sensory, any sensory, anything in your body that helps you. Clairaugustance.
Yeah, well, I thought it was kind of, is that what it is, clairaugustance? I thought it was linked to smell, because
synesthesia and smell, and maybe that is linked to the synesthesia.
Yeah, because when I smell,
clairaugustance is taste. That's what Diane G says, and synesthesia is the smell, when you smell things that. So, yeah, I actually don't have that very much, because I don't think I've ever used that.
The only time I have that now, as I said in the beginning, I had that is when I say I'm driving in my car or walking in the house and I smell something that is not familiar to me, or I
Yeah.
don't know that person. I know it's somebody walking through, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh no, they have found me. They want to transition." That's immediately what goes through my head. I wonder.
You have to, oh, they're going to make me want to
It's gonna
work.
make me work. I'm going to have to do something, and I always, and I always attract those high maintenance or high maintenance ones that are transitioning where I'm having to do things.
Yeah.
But it's very common for me to, and it is somebody who's just kind of casually walking through, and I'm hoping they don't stop.
Yes, I totally get that. I totally get that. And as I'm opening my senses more and more, I'm hoping I don't get to the stage where I have visitors that I have to go, not now. I've got a close sign up.
I do. I have office hours. Yes, I do. I have office hours.
Folks, you have to set your boundaries at that stage. When you're like Dr. Gail, you have to set that boundary up. So you're not on office hours right now. This is your personal time.
Because when it started, it was like 24/7. They were jumping in my car. They were showing up here. They were just like, oh my gosh, it's time.
Exactly. So I think that pretty much wraps up all the Claire. So, but
Well,
to get back,
let me give you a break and let me say hello to some people here.
yeah, go ahead.
So you can rest up your voice a little bit. I just cranked you up, Val, and you just went. You did great. And I hope that helped new people, because we forget all the time that we have new people that are coming in and they don't know this language. They don't know what all the clairs are. They don't know intuitive means. But let me say hello to some people, and you can gather yourself up for the next one. Hey there. Hey, CJ. Hey, Jen Carr. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Diane G. Hey, Rossi. Hey, Leah. Who else we got here today? Thanks for being here. Let's see. Hey, White Dragon. Hey, Emerald Buddha. Hey, Liz Daly. Thanks for being here. Hey, Ian Carr. Hey, Heavenly Blessed Honey. Hey, Sally. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Barbara Berkman. Thanks for being here. And hey, Son of Watt. Thanks for being here. And who else? We got Amanda Carroll and Millie De La Prada, Patricia Hernandez. We got all these people who already know everything. Hey, Aaron Mist. Hey, Coffee. Hey, Jim Carr. Hey, Amanda Carroll. Hey, Rick Talley. Let's see. Well, it's a good conversation because I've been having some good questions coming in about this stuff. Hey, Julie Hamill. And so it does kind of open us up to start looking at these things and revisiting them again, because we have all matured into what we're doing now. Hey, Hypnicity. And so we can look at it differently, and it can help the people who've never heard these terms before. Amen. Right. Thanks for being here. Let's see who else is here. Everybody's having nice conversations here. Hey, Em. Let's see who else. All right. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry, but hello, everybody. Thanks for being here today. We're going to go to the next one, and we're talking about the different kind of readings and things, and trying to go through the terminology of people who are new to this. Oh, hey, Stephanie. She says it's very educational. So I'm glad. Thank you. And hey, Northern Lights, thanks for being here. But anyway, we're just kind of going over that terminology and the things. And as I said, even to try to go to somebody, you go, oh, I want a reading. What's a reading about? And then you look at the list and you're going, I don't know which reading I want. The person I work with, when I'm still the same way. After all these years, I'll look at her list and she'll go, well, what are you doing? What are we doing today? And I'm going, I don't know. Whatever you think. So she's used to me doing that. So anyway, hey, Miss Boys Universe. Hey, Air Miss.
So, that's the thing. It depends on, first of all, if you're going to go get a reading, you have to really understand, why am I getting this reading? That is the first thing, because when you come with a clarity, for instance, that you've said to your guides, please give me the highest truth of what my journey is right now, or show me the highest level of my divine plan that I can access and implement now. For instance, you're setting an intention for a spiritual reading to open up doors for you, and you're saying it. So always go with an intention. Don't just go with my financial life. What's going on with it? No, you won't get as expansive of a reading as you would want if you just hit the 3D things. The
Well,
truth is there's flow in the universe. You just have to open up to the flow. How do you open up? Follow your divine plan. It's like reach for the highest, the rest will get in line. So go up to the top of your spiritual journey first and start looking up here at the big picture. This will all align. So don't get down in the weeds of the 3D world and go, oh, how do I muck with this relationship or that? Go up here. How can I best implement and work on my spiritual journey? Because this will all align. That's all I can tell you, because you will learn not to make people wrong. You will learn not to put your stuff on other people. It's really just a mirror for you to understand. There's a whole bunch of things that you're just going to come to a realization of and realize all the angst you would have had is best just dropped. And the story is not you. So
sometimes
yeah, sometimes there's a better fit for the kind of reading.
And a reader that's a fit.
Yes, and you might go with people you know are very spiritually oriented for a reading to receive something that might help you. Like an Akashic record reading would be somebody who's going to help you see root causes for things in this lifetime or where things began, so that you can end repeating patterns of things, so that you can let go of old stories that you might have made about yourself. It's not just the past, it's also the present and the future, and in all ancestral lineage. And shamanism, for instance, you might go to a shaman if you want to go on that kind of journey, that vision quest to really understand and anchor in your energy to Mother Earth and all of that kind of kingdom, that elemental kingdom, that nature of being in touch with your body, everything here, and at the same time connected to divine source, and bring in that ancient wisdom that's been around for eons of time. So
Yes, they're saying you are a phenomenal speaker, Val. I really appreciate your manner. It's clear, nice, and easy to understand.
Thank you, Annie Bear. That's sweet. So yeah, if you go have a shamanistic kind of reading, you are going to have a lot of healing. You're going to have a lot of openings. You're going to connect and anchor your energy into Earth and connect. There's a lot of beautiful, and this is something you'd resonate with inside of you. You probably had a lot of shamanic lifetimes where you were a shamanic healer. If you're drawn to that, that's probably what is going to draw you to that work.
Yeah,
like Danny does this kind of work. And so, you might go to somebody like Danny Shea. So if you're going to go for psychic mediumship, there are people out there who just do psychic mediumship for people who crossed over for your loved ones to help you get through the grieving process. But there are also people who will do a psychic mediumship, but they're really channeling your guides and angels, whoever you want to talk to, whatever messages you want from galactic beings. So those are things in that side of that psychic mediumship that you can ask for. And again, the main thing about what you want to know is it's about your spiritual journey, your relationships, your life, your financial, all of that is that everything's spiritual. So go for the top, go for the big picture, go for what it all means and what it's about for you, then everything will flow from that to just become clear. The clarity comes, and everything you need on your path comes before you, comes in front of you, opens up for you. So those are the kind of things. And yeah, and Earth Mama says, I enjoy shamanism because of the powerful animals. They are very powerful. I know. And I too have my totem, my animals, my power animals. And of course, even though it's not an animal, the dragonfly.
I have.
The dragonfly is.
I have 4 right now.
Yeah. So it's things, yes, you absolutely will be drawn to and feel that kind of connection, that you will get that kind of energy from your, and lions. I didn't know this. They're a big power animal for me because they show up in a lot of my meditations and things. So,
that's my main one is lion. I have a lion, a crow, a white rabbit,
yeah.
and what do you call the horse that flies?
Pegasus.
Pegasus, and that one just showed up. That one just showed up.
I had Pegasus from the early days, and I have to say, I always loved the Pegasus energy. For some reason, this is very beautiful energy to me, and I really connect to that too. And Rick said, dragon is a very, very powerful energy. Dragonfly, yeah. And dragons are in the elemental kingdom, and we don't think about them like that. And they're coming up big energy this year, especially. They're like talking like crazy. So I bought Diana Cooper's dragon cards because it's powerful energy to tap into and get assistance from. So the other readings you can get, they have names for all of them, and you just have to feel into that energy.
Well, the thing about the Pegasus, and Leah's saying the Pegasus in this constellation, the Pegasus, me, I'm not real sure about it being a power animal because I rescued it, and then it wanted to join me. So and that's been fairly recently. So I'm real confused about that.
I used to have so much Pegasus activity in my meditations and in dreams and all kinds of things. And you guys really pay attention to this thing that happened to me. Somebody told me, oh, you shouldn't be, oh, don't do that. That's in their mind, that meant you were crossing over.
Oh, really?
Do with Pegasus. And this was a teacher, a metaphysical teacher. So listen to what it means for you.
Yeah, because
other people assign the meaning to it, right? Right, Dr. Gail?
Yeah, they do. And as I said, mine is kind of different because I rescued it and it wanted to join my group. And so I'm not real sure where it fits in, if it's actually a power animal or it's just hanging out, or, I'm not sure.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's really an advanced spiritual being, and you're connecting with that. It's super high vibration. They are, Pegasus are. And I'm not sure. I think it's so individual.
Yeah.
Where would I go to find out? An overwhelming fierce child. You could find out that from an Akashic record reader to help you clear that, to help you release that, understand where it came from, what's the root lifetime, and hearing that, and also going through a little clearing and dissolving of the story, because those things are our traumas we store in ourselves from these experiences, and we don't need to anymore. We don't need to do that. So,
well, it's also the shamans will take you through journeys to find out what happened too. So
they will do that too. There's many ways. It's not just Akashic records. You can go to a shaman and go through that as well. All those types of things, whatever you're drawn to, that will help you. But usually hearing it and understanding it is the release. So you'll be clearing it. You'll clear it after that, because just hearing it, yeah, would work. So, yeah. So there's a lot of quantum healing energies out there. There's a lot of different types of things that you can go to for clearing and healing and all of that. It's, it's whatever you're drawn to and whoever you're drawn to facilitate it for you. But be sure you're clear on what you want, because you're telling your guides and angels before the reading and before you even sign up, this is what I want to achieve. This is what I want to understand. Please help me to have the highest. What confuses me?
This is Diane G. She's talking about, you're just talking about it being a mediumship, Diane, because I can connect, and you too can connect to the galactic beings, can connect to the people who've passed. That's just can come
and
mediumship.
Exactly. And, I'm just going to tell you straight up, I've started to call channeling telepathy, because really you're having a conversation, a two-way conversation with a being who isn't in front of you. Whether it's my husband, I don't have that. I mean, we do telepathically communicate,
right,
but it's more like his thoughts are in my head and my thoughts are in his head. But when I talk galactically, and I'm sure for you, Dr. Gail.
Yeah, I was schooled on that one when I was going, how am I going to learn how to communicate with you? I got to learn this telepathic communication. And they're going, what do you think you're doing now?
That's right. So it's like, for me, I've just started to go, man, channeling, that's telepathic communication. I'm having a two-way conversation with these beings. Seriously, I'm having a two-way conversation. That's what I'm having with all these beings, my higher self, divine source, whatever you want to call it. Cthulhu is mediumship. Yeah, so it is the same thing. It is the same thing for sure. Absolutely. And I mean, I really think Dr. Gail and Val could be sisters.
We are. We are.
We're the same age, so yeah.
We're the same age. We're both Pisces. We are. Yeah.
For sure. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. So my biggest thing is believe in everything you're getting. As long as you're getting things that are positive, supportive of you, and don't tell you what to do. They'll give you hints and ideas. Your guides and angels will never give you anything negative. They won't tell you things. They give you bits and pieces, and you have to kind of fuddle along. They might give you some things. They might tell you some things, but they'll tell you only up to this point, and then they're kind of leading you along to understand, yeah, you're on the right path, or you're, well, they did tell me I'd be an Akashic record reader. You're an Akashic record.
They told me in the beginning I'm a communicator, and then they gave me Starseed Healer.
There you go. See, they want you. These are things so that you're walking the path that you need to, and they tell you, Yeah,
they tell you. And here's Mr. Floyd's universe saying QAHT is Dolores Cannon's method for past life regression.
I just learned that. And I mean, I took the course.
Oh, you took the course.
Yeah, I took the course, and I haven't implemented it yet. And I did actually go through a session to really understand what that was about. And
well, I've had Barbara Lamb on, who is specialized.
I know. I watched that show. Yeah.
She's coming on again. I've got her scheduled for 2 more times.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, she is very, very well known in the field. Very, very highly regarded. So those are shows. Absolutely. Everybody's got to catch those with Barbara Lamb for sure.
Annie Bear, I think I missed Sally's question. She said she's got a good one. I think I missed it. Or I might have it starred.
Maybe what about guides who tell you things you don't like? Don't eat meat. Oh,
No, I got that, I got that way in the beginning when I was told to go on a bland diet for 5 days. And I had to, and I was so glad I did. And what's happening was, you're moving up, your vibrations going up,
Yes.
and you're going, and I was going in a spaceship, and it was making me
Yeah.
sick. I was
Yeah.
so glad I did what I did, and I followed their direction. And I think, it was for about a year that I wasn't to eat meat also. So when they're telling you that, there's a reason for it, and it
Yeah.
is for your own good, and that you're moving up, your vibrations changing, and very likely you're going up into outer space, and you're dealing with all the kind of things out there. And as I said, I was so glad, because it took me several months to get over those type of experiences. I stayed nauseated, I had flu symptoms, but I'm
Yeah.
going, oh, let's do it again. I'm sick.
And,
Let's do it again.
I absolutely, that is such a good question, because there are all kinds of paradoxes to everything I'm saying. So yes, your guides will give you specific information like mine are. It's not hurting anyone. It doesn't harm. It's not telling you a directive that would go harm anyone. It's telling you something for yourself. And consciously, if you stopped eating meat, it's not going to hurt you. And it'll probably be better for your heart, your circulatory system, for everything. So those things are definitely not things you have to be alarmed about, like you aren't connecting to the highest vibration of light, which is one other thing. I always surround myself with light. I call in my Archangel Michael, and I ask him to protect and guide me, because this is 3D and I want to connect to the highest vibration. Nothing's going to harm you. You can't be harmed, but I like to start out that way. And
I was just going to add that the diet might be temporary, just might be what your body's needing at that moment. And it might be, you might be get to go back to meat later. It's just,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah. So I pull in golden white light from the great central sun. You can do it from divine source, but I always think of the divine source, our great central sun, as being divine source. And I pull it in through my crown, anchor it into Mother Earth, and connect and say, I am divine source, all that is, because you're that spark that came from divine source. We are all that one spark. And we're all individuated sparks at this point. So you're calling forth, I say a prayer of intention, calling forth all my angels, guides, beings of light, and Akasha record masters to assist me in this moment, to allow me to connect with the highest vibration of light and love for my highest good and the highest good of humanity. That sets you up. And I send the light out from my heart around the world. And then I go up to my crown, and that's when I start any communication. So you're always creating this beautiful light around you. You're setting your vibration. Don't forget the 3 breaths in the beginning, where you breathe in and you exhale through your mouth. Breathe in your nose, exhale through your mouth 3 times. This 3 breaths is from ancient times. And it was Maitreya, who is Buddha, reminded me how important the breath is, and pause between the breaths, because the breath between the breaths is really even the holy breath, whatever. I can't remember exactly what he said, but there's magic in that kind of breath, the breath of God. So divine source.
Well, I put myself in a bubble, and it only allows certain things in. And
there you go. Whatever it is in your practice, implement that just like that, just like a bubble.
Well, I learned that bubble by going on the spaceship for the first time. Yeah. They put me in a bubble to protect me. So that's what I learned about putting yourself in a bubble.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Do I teach Reiki? I am a Reiki master, but I haven't actually taught Reiki. And for some reason, I'm like, to be honest with you, you all do Reiki. And what is Reiki? The universal life energy. Dr. Gail uses it when she does the Solaris healing. You're using it all the time when you're sending healing energy.
I've never taken any energy.
You don't have to take it. You flow this universal life energy. You don't have to give it a name, a symbol, draw all these symbols. You don't have to do any of that anymore, especially because the energies are so rampant. They're so big. You really open up and it's flowing through you. You don't even have to try. And so when you are with a group of people and you are conducting healing like Dr. Gail does, they are there and healing is happening and it's just coming through, pouring through like crazy, so strong. So that is my reason why I don't actually teach Reiki or anything else, because I think we're kind of, and Reiki masters, I'm sorry out there, you might disagree, but I'm saying we all have this infinite field running through us. This divine source infinite field runs through us. They call it the universal life force in Reiki. It is flowing. It doesn't have to be a certain, you got to do symbols no, you just open up and it flows.
Yeah. Barbara's saying Reiki is all about energy and intention.
Energy and intention. And if you sit down,
a great Reiki healer. And I agree, but I agree with Val. It's just all energy. We can put labels on it all we want. This is Reiki. This is this. This is that. Right. In fact, I've never been able to define what I do.
You don't need to define it either. And you're just this conduit of all this beautiful flowing energy that's coming through you, and you're channeling and doing all these things. It is just a natural thing. It's just a natural thing. So
I do recommend Reiki for people who I read that are healers, and I go take a Reiki class to jumpstart that ability. And then you can go from there. Not necessarily that you're going to do Reiki on people, but it does jumpstart because you do learn about energy healing.
When you do go through Reiki, you go through this energy attunement. And a lot of you will feel like that awakens that flow within you. But you can awaken that flow anyway through just opening up to the flow. But yeah, what Dr. Gail is saying is absolutely true. If you took like Reiki 1 and you attune to that energy, you are attuned to the universal life force energy. But in truth, you are a spark of God, this beautiful glowing ball sitting here right now. You can't not be. You are that universal life force energy. You can't not be connected to it because you are it. So it's funny. It's a dichotomy. It's kind of like the paradox. Yeah, but so go through the class, let yourself be initiated into that energy flow, and boom, you'll know for sure you've got it. It's flowing. So yeah.
All right. So Val, now we haven't even gotten back to the other things that you have sessions that you give. We just hit the first one, and you haven't even gotten to the Akashic records.
Oh yeah. Well, I did talk a little bit about it. The Akashic records are really that infinite field. It's an infinite field of possibilities. It's that divine source field. And inside those records that are past, present, future, everything galactic, and, from the beginning of time, that information is actually in every cell of our bodies. It's not like we have to go look somewhere for a library somewhere. We actually, in our microcosm contains the macrocosm. In every little cell of our body, the big picture is there. And, how can this be? It's because if you take a cell, you can divide that cell and create from that one cell because everything's there.
So yeah, that's part of one of your classes, manifesting in the quantum field.
Yes, and I do that with Gerald at Tarot Stash. When you manifest in the quantum field, it's like a cosmic ordering service where you learn to talk to your Akashic, your cosmic ordering service guides, guides.
Numbers up there that you can't see.
You actually attune to them. You attune to them. And it's funny, we were talking about attunement for Reiki. You attune to the Akashic records when you take my Akashic record class. You are attuned. I take you through the meditation, and I attune you to. You are attuned. I don't have to attune you. You attune yourself. But to be more precise, but this attunement can be a powerful thing in a big group too, that can help you really feel it. You can really feel it. So yeah, there's something about that. It's like an initiation. But Akashic records, I do the class, and I also teach. I teach the Akashic records, and I also do the Akashic record readings. And, you can really, if you're looking not just from curiosity, but also from wanting to clear things that you don't want to repeat. Say you keep marrying the same kind of man every time. Say you've always had this fear of water. Or maybe you're afraid to leave the house and you don't know why. Or maybe, you get angry a lot over certain triggers. Well, what are your triggers? Those are the things you want to clear. That feeling like you can't trust anyone, that constriction regarding abundance in your life, not trusting that the universe has your back and is going to provide for you. There's so many reasons why you want to clear the 3D stuff out of their way. Those are stories, and you clear those stories by going back and looking at, or being in this lifetime. They sometimes it's right in this lifetime, and it's not something in the past. And the Akashic Record Masters will show what it is by vision, by claircognizance, and in X amount of different ways. And you will find out. And then I also take you through a healing process. But even just hearing the lifetime where you connect and understand releases you from that story, releases you to the truth, back to the light of who you are. So that, it dissolves it. What's the difference between mediumship and channeling? That's why I was saying in my mediumship, you can connect to your loved ones, or you can connect to galactic beings. Here's the difference for me. I feel like, and this is for me, when souls cross over, they're like right here. They're not very far away. But galactic beings are very high vibration. It's like I'm reaching. Yes, it's like I'm reaching up.
The people here that have passed away are right here.
Yes.
The angels.
Yes.
Like here.
Yes.
And the galactic beings.
They're so high vibration. So the higher vibration, it's like they're in a different density, a different level of existence.
And it feels different when you're connecting with them.
So it took me a long time to do mediumship, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm up there, I have to learn how to bring my energy down to, because I'm all like
connected with her, and we created a place to sit down and visit regularly. So that was my mediumship, where I was going public with it. Then I started helping other people. But for me, the difference between mediumship and channeling, it's been blurred for me too, Diane, because I do it all. And when I started what I called channeling was when I sat down with a specific being and he was giving me messages to tell people.
Yeah.
When I am doing mediumships, and it's almost like group when I'm channeling. He's wanting me to give a message to a group. When I'm doing mediumship, it's more personal, on a personal level. It's either about me or it's about the person I'm talking to. But channeling seems to be more of the group. And that's how it comes. And I don't know if that's correct, but that's how it comes across for me.
Yeah, that could definitely be a way in which you can use it. The practitioner who's ever doing the mediumship and the channeling is going to do it their own way. But we always see these groups getting out and channeling. I mean, you see groups channeling, somebody channeling a message to humanity. And there's a lot of beings out there who want to give a message to humanity. You're going to know it when you're connecting and they have a message and they're giving it to you. And it's, oh, this is for humanity.
Exactly.
It's a big subject.
And that's for me channeling. And my channeling usually is that big message.
Yeah, the big message for humanity. And you're right, Dr. Gail, when you're in that personal session with someone, you're going to channel messages, not just from loved ones, but if somebody, if they ask for their angels or guides or whoever's coming in that they want to talk to, they're going to give them personal messages. So it is true. When you're in a one-on-one session, it's not going to be a message for humanity. It's going to be it's going to be a message for them on their journey. And yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So, and also it depends, I don't know, you've given sessions and you're thinking you're going to connect with somebody and all of a sudden, oh, this bully comes through. Oh no, you're talking to me. You're like, okay.
My God. There are some I could just see, like I'd have 3 people waiting here and they want to come through. And one powerful person will bombard their way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah. You just have to see, I'm giving a channeling course the 23rd actually, and it's 3 classes. So you can sign up for that on dragonflycrystals.store, and you're going to learn the subtle nuances of what is that channeling all about, and you can understand that everything you do really is that telepathic communication. That's really what it is.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, because you're not having just a one-way thing, a stream coming in, you're having a conversation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, let's see. Let me see if there's anything else. I think, if there's anything else you want to talk about, Val, or to kind of let people know? I mean, because we're basically what we're coming down to is mediumship and channeling and all these things. Those definitions cross over. Just figure out what the definitions are for you. So, because I use those terms, I very rarely use mediumship, but I do use channeling because I'm channeling the information through me, and and it's not me talking, it's whatever information. I'm trying to figure out what they're saying, which is telepathic communication, and how to communicate it to somebody, which, so I have to go, okay, we have to break this question down and make it simpler, because you're having to figure out, you have to tell them and they have to give you that. And
exactly. And in my class, you learn your role as the person channeling and receiving the information is to be a good interpreter of that information and to have it make sense, because you're translating it down into this earth language, which is a whole different kind of ball game from what you may be hearing. So yeah, it's a big responsibility to get that clear, to have clarity. And it can take people a little while to really relax enough to really have it flow so much they get it. They can
sometimes even if you're in the middle of the reading, that okay, what did you mean by that?
Yes,
What
exactly.
you have to draw a picture, or you might have to draw a card because that message is not coming in clearly.
Exactly. And that can happen too, where you might ask the person who's channeling to you, can you give me more clarity? But for some reason, you don't hear or get the clarity. So you have to, in some way, interpret it so that someone can really understand it. Yeah, it's really true. There's a whole bunch of things. There's a lot to do with channeling. Yeah.
All right.
Subtle
Okay.
things.
I think that's enough for today, Val.
Yeah,
Great. You've been great.
Sorry. I didn't let you talk.
No, that's okay. It was necessary. I think the education and us talking about it and trying to figure out what things are called, and even we're muffled with the definitions of things. And I think that's things that people need to know. So I appreciate you thoroughly going into that and making it very simple for people to understand. And so thanks for being here. And thanks everybody for joining us today. Thanks moderators for making this a safe place. And Val, when's your next show?
My next show tonight is Sisters of the Mystical Tarot, and it'll be on Sherry Voices from the Swamp channel. So catch me there. And and Arthur. Oh, I think Arthur's next week. Yeah.
I'm looking at my own right now. What my own? I think it's going to be Saturday, and I think it's my color. I think it's my color therapy class on Saturday, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, that is fun. That would be fun. Yes. Definitely.
All right, everybody. Thank you. We'll see you later. All right. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.